So a woman falls to her death in relation to taking a selfie. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things, combine them, make them into one. There's too much going on my screen. I don't look at the screen for those that's asking. I posted a message about this on social media. I usually never look in the camera. I just said that in my last video because there's too much going on. You got up above the recipe right there, right? And then at far left you got scrolling action. That's my grocery cart, right? And then at the bottom I'm reading Discovery News. You guys don't know that. You guys don't know that, and yet I do. Discovery News is in fact rolling on the screen. It in fact is. Maybe one of these days I'll show you guys that sort of thing. And so my focus, and then I have to jumps were made and records were set this Memorial Day on Diesel Brothers. Yes, that's in fact the news. See how my attention span, I'm supposed to be reading a story, and yet I had to take a lucky strike with even that by telling you what is going on in front of my face. So we'll come back to that in a minute, as well as the buzzer that's going off. So the selfies, selfie deaths. An unidentified woman fell to her death in Northern California. This involved a waterfall, Northern California, as she lost her footing, which caused her to slip. This all occurred while she was snapping shots. There's so many. See, I was going to in fact make this video real long, right? There's in fact, get on Google, get on YouTube, get everywhere and look up selfie deaths. Some of those most weirdest, oddest, strangest places people choose to take photos of themselves. I get it. I in fact have a selfie of me up above. You'll see it coming, where I'm in fact laying on a railroad track. A woman died that way. I took the photo at night, in the middle of the night, right? A woman in fact died that way, and yet it helps to be precautionary as in the timing. Don't step on, or don't be standing on buildings taking selfies and all the rest unless you got something where you're hooked and locked and chained with that, right? People take chances. But yes, this individual in fact fell to her death while snapping shots. She lost her footing. No guardrails were available, in which could have prevented the tragedy, right? And not only that, witnesses close by to the victim expressed she was near the edge. She was right near the edge, as in they seen it. They witnessed her in fact fall, right? Water is known to cascade 150 feet from the waterfall, which overlooks Lake Tahoe. That's sad in itself, because she was, yes, unidentified, which is odd with that, right? Selfie deaths. Questions. When it comes to deaths, and where's the photo at? I'm saying the one where I was laying on the railroad track. It should in fact be there. To put in much effort as much as I do is to say this might in fact be the loser approach on my end, where the photo should have came up. It's not a stock photo, it's in fact me. I'm laying on a, there it go. See how cool that is? I'm laying there, and I had many of them where my head was in fact on my book bag, right? So question, selfie deaths. What could be better ways for people to take photos of themselves which doesn't lead to their demise? I allow you, the viewer, to answer me back on this, because to say you can help to prevent deaths is to say there's better ways, as in knowing how to do selfies the right way, even in timing, and I said that. People have fallen off of skyscrapers to their death. People have been killed on construction sites. All this in relation to selfies. People have even nearly drowned, yes, falling off of cruise ships, taking photos and all the rest, right? doing all this to have long-lasting memories while placing themselves at risk. There have even been situations where it's on Google. There's been individuals that have in fact gotten eaten by sharks. Eaten by sharks, as in while they're sitting in the water taking a selfie, sharks have in fact ran up on them. Not completely ran up like that, but drove up and not completely drove up. You get what I'm saying? They pulled up on them. That's hood talk. They pulled all the way up on them and ate them. The young girl that was taking a selfie, it was a grown adult man as well, got eaten alive by a shark in the midst of taking a selfie, right? That sort of stuff is in fact fun. I'm saying risk takers, people that take risks, enjoy stuff like that, the enjoyment of stuff like that. Putting yourself out there to say, ooh, I want to get a, because you say, if you're thinking and saying, well, to only live once, right? But for many people in the enjoyment experience process, they don't think that's going to be their last time. They think they're going to take the photo and show it off and have a long-standing memory, and yet the end result don't always work out that way. They die right on the spot. While not only they take the photo, themselves taking the photo, but other people as well, right? Which is interesting when you see the photos. I'm saying when you look at it after they have died, as in fallen to their death, you say, well, man, because see, look, I took that photo myself. The photo that you just seen of me laying right there, I in fact have a camera where I take my own photos, right? The right and wrong way, right? And yet I set it up on a tripod, right? Maybe others have did the same, but to be that up close is to say somebody else could have helped you with that. See him being right there. It's in danger mode, right? That's dinner, right? And yet there be where people are far away from the camera, and that's to they say more than likely somebody else have taken the photo for them, right? So that's to ask the question: do you think people should be charged for that sort of thing? Illegal measures. If somebody didn't take a selfie themselves and yet they were part of the process, is to say, do you think people should be more charged in that? Looking at the bigger scheme of things, because there was a young guy on a building hanging off with one arm, right? He in fact plunged to his death. That's to say, either a family member took that photo of him and they consider a selfie, right? That's selfie as well, right? That's to say, well, whoever took the photo, should they in fact go to jail because it isn't be charged in his death? Because to say, well, you could have talked him out of taking a photo despite him being a grown man, is to ask even that. Open up the sales room floor. Did you get that? Open up the sales room floor and questioning. Who else should be charged in these selfie deaths? If you died taking a selfie, would you want somebody charged in that? I'll allow you, the viewer, to ask with that, right? You will want to in fact think about it, because the longer we go forward, right, in the move in the future, as I say, more deaths are going to be coming along the way, as in people are going to be falling and being killed, but yeah, with the selfies, because stuff not being done in the proper way, right? And as I say, more likely laws or something are going to change. Something is going to change, because remember, technology is in fact the future. We're standing in it. The way that I'm doing this is ahead of time, right? It is, and yet it's not. And yet for it to be discovery branded is to say it is in fact ahead of time for discovery, right? And so as time move forward, once again, the selfies, and because all businesses, the reason I'm saying this, all businesses are in fact going to be online by the year 2030. And I said this in another video, by 2030 the majority of businesses, individuals are working now, not in factories and retail and all the rest, or even that, right? Because even Amazon is online. All businesses are going to be in fact online, just the way Discovery and other, yes, Apple and all the rest are online, right? So that's to say more selfies could in fact be involved in that, as in it's going to have a triple effect with that. That's to say, more lives can be lost. Because Instagram is one of the most important places right here on earth, right? And so to be marketable and sell and advertise your business is to say even that can be used for print purposes. Print, right? Photo, right? Video is in fact the future, as I say. Well, selfies right now will more likely in the future be replaced more so with videos by the year 2021. 80% of viewership is going to be, yes, TV in a sense, video. I say TV, but it's in fact video. Let me use a precise terminology. It's going to be video at 80% viewership in relation to what will be in 2021. I'm sorry, 2020 and 2021, the year. So that's to say, all these selfies are in fact going to be replaced more so with video, right? That's the switch off. And so to change lanes in that is to say, well, now people are going to be standing in front of sharks recording it on video, right? Handheld devices with that is to say, well, if other people are involved with that, maybe they will be, maybe they won't. Family members and friends, it's a question. Who all is going to die with that, and who might in fact be charged, as in laws being changed? Because even as businesses go online, is to say even laws have to be implemented with that to regulate in relation to businesses. The regulation in relation to businesses, right? And so with all that being said, yeah, I can see that coming. Death is going to triple with that. I can see it. I don't know why I can see people jumping out of the plane like they already are now, and yet they're going to be making it in video, and people are going to be removing their parachute with that. Taking their parachute off and not having one, free falling to their death and all the rest just to get good video footage like this man is doing in front of this wildebeest. And yet it ain't in a wilderness, right? It just looks like one with his mouth open. All that is the future. So that's to say genocide isn't as... Some people will question, well, what is the purpose? Because I know people fear robotics, they fear the future, they fear anything that's mechanicalized and all the rest when it points into technology, right? And people would in fact want to blame Apple, they would want to blame everybody, and possibly even me, Discovery, sitting here saying it before time gets there, right? Bidding farewell with that sort of thing, right? No shutdown involved. But people will want to say, well, these companies such as Apple are trying to keep up with the pace, and yet they're killing us at the same time, right? People will say, well, that's in fact a form of genocide. It in fact is not, because to know that you have a phone in your hand is to say you are responsible for that phone as well as your own well-being. You are in fact responsible, and not Apple. Because it looks nice on the Apple commercial to show a guy standing in front of a shark or a fish or a baboon or whatever, being ran over by a goldfish, or however that happens, right, in real life, right? I don't know. That looks all nice and all that same thing, but that's to say that sort of thing really can't be repeated in real life, because even the commercial might have been digitalized, as in formatted, as most commercials are, with graphics and layouts and all the rest, right? And yet even humans take the chances of repeating what they see on TV, movies, and commercials and all the rest. Sometimes you can't go and repeat that, because what you're seeing is in fact edited. Yeah, film companies and all the rest that do that sort of thing, putting humans in harm's way, and yet it's not. It's a green screen where stuff has been filmed, and yet real life humans go repeat the process of what they seen in a film and all that. That's not gonna ever work out. It only leads to death if you don't know the timing. Because see, even me laying out on that railroad track the way that I did, that had to be timing. I had to know what time is the train coming. What time is the train coming, the precise timing and all the rest when it comes to me, because I'm not trying to get ran over and killed. And yet that selfie shot was in fact for nobody else but myself. I posted it online, yeah, but not a whole lot of people seen it. But it was more valuable to me in the memory, just like maybe this guy felt. And yet there's a right and wrong way. It's completely a right and wrong way. I had my camera so lit up, it was lit. It was so much lighting in that camera could possibly turn down all the street lights. That's in a hijack approach. I don't know. And yet it ain't no plane or none of that, right? Yeah, so I don't really like that no skyscraper, because see, yeah, that's doing too much. To go be hanging off a skyscraper and you ain't got nothing latched to you, as in bolted to you and all the rest, so that you can hang and say, even that will cause issues, as in the swinging and swaying back and forth, because you might in fact crash through the building with that, trying to take a selfie, and yet got something chained to you so you can free fall with that, if that's not done right. People take the chances of trying to do free falling while taking selfies, and yet they don't have a business behind them in doing it, as in going with a legit service to help them free fall off a skyscraper or something. To not do that sort of thing right too is to get locked inside of a building, even in death, as in crashing into one, just like I said, fall off the side of a building and just go flying through the glass, right? That could be in fact the end of you, right? Or a ripcord approach, just falling to death. I don't know. So to not do it right is to not take the chance, and yet who's to say with me? I just put the story out there, right? So let me know what you think and feel about this. What have all you done to take selfies? Me, with my book bag, I was chilled like this, right? What all type of selfies have you taken and posted on Instagram or wherever, Facebook, or to be seen or not be seen, or however you choose to do things? And what type of environments have you placed yourself in to do that sort of thing? Have you become, or not become, have you almost been placed in harm's way by doing such? What video was that I seen? Was that last year or was this 2 years ago? I can't remember. How people was doing the dancing, where they would be in a car driving, and then they'll get out and dance and stuff like that. It's all type of stuff. I don't really do challenges like that, because I think different. I'm not one to really follow the crowd, as in do what you feel, but I would rather create my own challenge and have everybody follow me in that. Because it's rules in that. To do a challenge is to say you got to do it like this and like that, and I might not want to do it like this or like that. I might want to do something else, as in go fry a hamburger while I'm driving down the street in a Tesla or something. Did you get that? When I was saying, man, it would be cool if cars had ATM machines in it. That's in fact my ideal, and not Elon. Dear Elon, me and Elon, I should make a video about that. Me and Elon in fact have the same personality, INTJ. We're both INTJ personalities. Me and Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla. When I said, well, ATM machines should in fact be built within cars. Teslas, to be specific. And all that should in fact be ran by a chip that's within the body. There's more to that. The more that I sit on camera outside of discovery stuff, right, it's to say, even if I made more videos, I can show you possibly how even Elon Musk thinks. I'm saying, because even all that is in fact programs and programming and all the rest over at Tesla, right? You in fact want to know how Mr. Elon thinks when he's designing and all the rest, coming up with swift ideals on the move with that, right? You want to know how those sort of people think, and I in fact think in the manner of Mr. Elon, because for both of us to be an INTJ personality, as well as Stephen Hawking, who was involved with NASA and all the rest, he was an INTJ as well, right? To know that great minds think alike, right, is to show how you in fact think. That way people don't fear you, because to say the personalities are in fact different. Many of us have different personalities that's different than the majority, is to say people would in fact not know how to take us as well as fear us, right? So you in fact want to show how you think. That in fact, it's not to gain acceptance. No, it's not, right? It's to in fact be yourself, but it's to make the world know, as in stand bold in who you are, right? It's letting other individuals know that you are in fact different from them. There's a separation. I am me and you are you, and yet you show me who you are as well as I'm going to show you who I am. It's cause and effect in that. It builds understanding, because not one person exists on this earth. There's billions of us on this earth. And to fail to understand people is how prejudice and bigotry and all the rest come into play. So I think that's all to be said for now. I'm going to in fact end this video out. May you enjoy your day. I'm going to in fact enjoy my day as well. And I'm gone.